Hello, and welcome back to Creating Individualized and Group Learning Paths, Part 3 of the Blackboard Black Belt course. In the last video, we discussed creating, submitting, and grading group assignments. In this video, we are going to explore learning modules. You are probably already familiar with learning modules, as this is how these videos in the Learning Management System Resources for Faculty community is set up. A learning module is simply a collection of content focused on a specific subject that students can navigate at their own pace. This allows instructors to create a structured path for progressing through course items. The path can be set up so that students must view items sequentially or set to allow students to view the content in any order. The path can also be displayed in a table of contents, which can also be used to navigate through the learning module. To create a learning module, begin by navigating to the location within your course that you would like the module to appear. From the Content area, hover over the Build Content menu. Then, select Learning Module. Go ahead and give your learning module a name. Add a description if you'd like. Under the Learning Module Options area, you can set the options for sequential viewing and whether or not the learning module opens in a new window. Selecting the Yes option under Force Sequential Viewing forces the students to progress through the content one step at a time. Leaving the option set to No simply allows the students to navigate the course freely. I'm going to leave the default setting of No for now to demonstrate what it looks like, and then I'm going to go back later and change the settings so that you can see the difference. You can also set the standard options if you'd like. I'm just going to leave the default settings here as well. Finally, we are presented with the Table of Contents option. Adding a table of contents allows your students to see a structured view of the content items within the learning module. This also serves to show progression through the learning module. I'll go ahead and stay with the default option of Yes, because I would like my students to see how the content is structured in the learning module. Under Hierarchy Display, we can choose to have letters, a mixture of letters or Roman numerals, numbers, or just Roman numerals. Using the mixed option is nice if you plan on adding content folders within your learning module. When you have all of the options set the way you'd like, click Submit. Now it's time to add some content. Click on the learning module link to get started. Learning modules can contain any of the items that any other content area has. You can add items, files, media, content folders, and even another learning module if you'd like. I'm going to keep my learning module pretty simple by adding a content folder and then adding an item and an image. First, I'm going to create a content folder. Click on Build Content and select Content Folder. Give it a name and set the settings the way you'd like. Then click Submit. Next, let's add an item. Click Build Content and select Item. Give the item a name, then set the settings the way you'd like. Click Submit. Now I'm going to add an image. Click on Build Content and select Image. Give the image a name, set the desired image display settings, and click Submit. Once you're finished adding all the items that you want, you can reorganize them however you'd like by simply dragging and dropping them to the desired location. Ensuring that your items are in order is important because the table of contents will navigate the student through the items from the top of the content to the bottom of the content. Clicking the Refresh button here will update the table of contents. Now, let's enter Student Preview mode and see what it's going to look like to our students. You can see that we have a table of contents for the learning module because I have made that available when setting it up. Students can manipulate the layout of the table of contents by clicking the various icons on the top left of the area. Students can navigate within the learning module by either clicking the text of the item they want to view, clicking the forward or back buttons here, or here. Notice that within the table of contents, the items listed here are hyperlinks, and I can just go straight to the item in the learning module if I want. This is because I turned off sequential viewing. Let's exit Student Preview mode and modify that setting to demonstrate what it's going to look like. To edit the learning module, let's click on the down arrow to the right of the name and select Edit. I will navigate to the learning module options and click Yes for sequential viewing. Make any other changes as needed and click Submit. We will return to Student Preview mode. Now, let's navigate to where the learning module is located. Since I turned sequential viewing on, we can see that only the next item in the learning module is available until I click on that item. Then, it makes the next item available. Before we wrap up this video on learning modules, I'd like to show you what they look like when we disable the table of contents. So let's go back in and edit the learning module. Click on the down arrow next to the name of the learning module and select Edit. Then scroll all the way down to the bottom and change Show Table of Contents to Users to No. Then click Submit. Now, if we go back into Student Preview mode and locate the learning module, we will now notice that we no longer see the table of contents. The only way to navigate is by clicking these navigation arrows here. I really like the table of contents, so I generally leave that option turned on. Well, that concludes this video on creating Individualized and Group Learning Paths Blackboard Black Belt course Part 3. In this video, we learned how to create and edit learning modules. Learning modules are a fantastic way for instructors to guide students through a predefined set of course materials. Another way is to release certain content items within your Blackboard course using adaptive release. In fact, that's the topic of the next video. In Part 4, we'll explore adaptive release as well as test availability exceptions. Thanks for watching. See you soon in Part 4.